Hello, Cyclocross friends, and welcome to Cyclocross Television. We are at GoCross in Fallon Park in Roanoke, Virginia for the first weekend of cyclocross racing, the first UCI racing in North America and in the world. We have a different track than we saw last year at GoCross, some significant changes, and we're going to get right into it with our track walk. We're here in the starting grid on the pavement this year. Last year, we started on the grass behind the swimming pool. This year, we are on the road. We have this slight right-hand bend. It's going to be a super quick sprint because once we come up here onto this right-hand turn, onto the grass is when things are going to get dicey because it's going to bottleneck really quick right away here with this right-hand turn where the course gets really narrow. And if you're not out in front, it's a big penalty to pay, and you're going to have your work cut out for you for the rest of this track. Turning left, we're going to go underneath the flyover. This is a nice new wrinkle this year. And then we have these nice little mini planks, easily rideable. But again, if we have a big pack coming through there, a lot of people are going to have to dismount, especially on lap one. After that should not be that much of an issue. We just passed by pit one. And as you can see, as we make these long U-turns on these long stretches, that everything is just slightly uphill, slightly off camber. Every time we make one of these turns, we're continually to rise in the elevation, which could start to take it out of the riders after a couple laps in here. But I really think this is going to be a super fast race. It really sets up that way. There's a lot of flow to it. It really reminds me more of the European style course. Not like, in America, a lot of times we see all of these like super tight turns and turn after turn after turn. This is a little more drawn out. Here we are in the sand section. It's an uphill sand section. Right now it has not been groomed, so it's super fast, really not an issue at all. Not even like you're riding in sand. If they're digging up before tomorrow's UCI races, could be a completely different story. Once that sand is loose, much harder to ride through. Into this little top leveled off grass area at the top of the course. Again, it's sort of the same thing that we were seeing before, except here it's flat. We don't have the elevation anymore. This is going to be a really fast section. You can see that this is a permanent cyclocross course. That's why I have that line that's burned in down the middle, which, could be good, could be bad. That may not be the fastest line. This is once you get to the UCI level, what everybody's doing every day, just riding this slowly compared to riding it fast, that may not be the line. This is a really nice berm section through here, which is fun and fast. And we're getting to our next big feature. We're going to get this little climb in here, and that's going to set up for this railroad tie or this log section. So once you make this right-hand turn, you have downhill, 3 logs in there, a really steep banked U-turn. That's a really fun one on camber, and then uphill again. You can't really see the elevation, but that is a turn. And then this is this cool new off-camber section. There's a high line, there's a low line. It's really going to be dynamic coming through there, and then we're on this long uphill off-camber section as we head towards the wooded section. Kind of a long lull section here. This is the type where two things could happen. You could either have people sitting up and sort of getting back together, or it could be somebody with power. This is where they attack. Coming into this little wooded section, sort of fun, little up and over there. Nothing really too technical anywhere in this course, but this is a rooted section. If we get some moisture, it could be an issue, but I think we're going to be pretty dry for the weekend. Around these turns here on the swimming pool side of the course, this is really just, sometimes you just need real estate in here. Sometimes you just need to make the track longer, and that's what we're doing here. You got a little ups and overs, but nothing too significant in this part of the course. Lots of grass, lots of long stretches, and this is really just a transition now to our next feature, which is the built-in staircase on this permanent cyclocross course. We got the pool side on our left-hand side, and then here we come to this big staircase. The really interesting thing about here, if you're able to drive side dismount, it puts you up on the high side, and it's a lot easier getting on the bike. Most people are going to be getting off on that left-hand side of the bike, and it's much harder getting on because you're much lower. That was pit 2 there. Really tricky section getting into pit 2 over the flyover, and we're heading to home. And right here is where the race is going to be won, because if you're not ahead there, you're never getting ahead. This is a really tight turn around this last corner. One more turn on the the road, and boom, you're done. Almost no sprint at all. So it's at the flyover. You got to be ahead. That's the sprint before the sprint, and that's going to take the win. That was it. That's your track walk. One lap of this course here in Fallon Park, Roanoke, Virginia. Go Cross. All weekend long, we're going to have coverage from Cyclocross television of both days, and we will be back with that coverage after the weekend is over. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon, Cyclocross friends.